Okay, I'm live. Wow. I meant to do my little intro. I got to get back in the groove here a little bit, folks. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've gone live individually and gone live, especially in my Mud.Clay.Art page, this group. I just sent out an invite to several of you guys, new members. I started this group earlier this year as a private group to try to build it up and, make it like a private membership. Honestly, I'm so bad at marketing that it just didn't really take off too well. So I figured I would go ahead, and I've got a little good content in here, and Mud.Clay.Art is my jam. I love doing polymer clay, and I figured I would go ahead and just start working in this group and just come on here and there when I'm doing some projects on my own, and just kind of talk about crafts and art and anything else you guys want to talk about related to that. But mainly we're going to focus on working with the polymer clay. Eventually, I think what I'd like to do is ask some of the other polymer clay artisans or creatives that I have made a few friends with on some other groups to maybe join in, because those groups mainly share a lot of pictures, but they don't do a lot of lives. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to interact with some of those folks. There's a lot of people that I know that are a lot of crafters and painters and all sorts of things, but not too many of them do polymer clay, especially do lives. So I thought it would be cool to go ahead and create that group and, let it be that. And so as you come on here, whether you're watching the replay or you just want to see what I'm about whenever you get a chance. I'm not going to really schedule any particular lives right now at the point, because I can't really commit to anything. One of the reasons that I've been on a hiatus for so long is I've been working on several projects. One was an app for a bit, trying to work my own app, which I decided I didn't want to do either. But my biggest project right now is working with this nonprofit organization, Queen Shirley Foundation, and I've been working for weeks and weeks, actually months, to get my syllabus ready to do workshops with clay and glass and painting and things like that. So I'm hoping that I've got everything ready to go. So now I've got a little time until they get it together and, roll us out to get some clients. So here I am in the group, and I'll still go in Live Painting Sisterhood here and there, which is my other sister group. But my individual group page, I just figured, like I said, this would be kind of fun and it'd be something different to open up people to the idea of the clay, since a lot of people don't, in my creative world, they don't know much about clay. Now, like I said, I'm not really going to be teaching. I'm just going to be kind of like showing you what I'm working on. I've got my current project going on here. At some point, I will be doing some classes. Maybe if people want to actually take a class from me. I've created I can make it either a 12 or a 6-week course that people can actually learn the step-by-step polymer clay and do a lot of really awesome projects. And I will be doing that as a private thing within the group here at some point and put that out. But I'm not really ready to put that out to anybody quite yet. But yeah, here I am. So one other thing I wanted to mention, if you do come on and you're catching this, that I use StreamYard. I really like StreamYard because I can use the dual cameras and I like the way it works and all the little features. So if you come onto my site and you see a post that in the description heading where I post something, you can see, it'll tell you about what I'm doing, but also you'll see like a little blue link there that says, please allow StreamYard to interface with Facebook or something like that. If you click on that blue link for me and go ahead and I think you just put your name or something, it's real simple, then I will actually be able to see who's commenting in StreamYard. Like I said, since I'm not going through the regular Facebook channels, it streams into Facebook, but it's through a separate entity. I would appreciate if you would do that so I can see your name in the comments as we're doing our thing. Otherwise, it just comes up as Facebook user, and I don't know who you are, and I have to ask and all that stuff. So, anywho, with all that out of the way, excuse me, taking a sip. I've got my non-alcoholic beer. Yes, it's non-alcoholic. All right, so yeah, what I've got going on here, I'm going to switch screens over and show you what I'm working on. And this thing is turning out pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself. So with polymer clay, there's just so many things you can do with it. It's very versatile. I've been playing around with a lot of new things. Now, I've been working with clay over the years, for off and on for 20 plus years, doing a few projects here and there, but I've really gotten serious in the past year with just strictly working with polymer clays. Like I said, I've done air dry clays and paper clays and regular, what do you call them, clays, modeling clays and plasters and things of that nature. But strictly working with the polymer clay has just opened up this whole world for me. But I will say, you know, very sincerely that I still consider myself in the learning stage. Hi, Facebook user. I don't know who you are because I just see hello. I just got through saying, and as people come on, maybe I'll have to repeat this a few times, but in the post, there is right above this when you come on, there's a little blip that says that if you would allow, it's a little blue link that says if you would allow Facebook to interface with StreamYard, because I'm using StreamYard, I would appreciate that. That way I can see who you are. If you don't want to do that, you can just tell me your name, because right now I don't know who you are. It just says Facebook user me, and I am using StreamYard. So let me get my comments here. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to repeat myself too many times, but basically I was just saying that what does this one show? No, why are my comments coming up like this? Oh, it's Rita. Hey, Rita, how's it going, girlie? All right. I am working this. For some reason, my darn screen up here is acting up on. It's got my post. No. Anyway, all right. I'm not going to fiddle with that because you don't need to hear about that anyway. All right. So thanks, Rita. Like I said, if you just want to, and thanks for coming on the page, by the way. Like I said, you got my invite. I used to have a private membership with this thing, and I just opened it back up. I wanted to be able to interact with people with the clay, and a lot of people are so shy about getting into memberships and they don't understand them. And I know, funds can be a little funky these days. So I figured I enjoy working with clay, and I'm just going to open this up for people to come and learn about the clay. So anyway, like I was saying, as far as working with this clay right here, this project is one for my daughter. I'm going to be making several of these. These are actually, I guess, a bowl is what you would call it. It actually has, it's glass. It's actually, the clay is attached to the outside of the glass. Okay, these are one of like a little glass fish bowl or terrarium bowl from the Dollar Tree. I get, just like a lot of us crafters, we keep that company in business because we're always going to the Dollar Tree. But yeah, these are from the Dollar Tree. This is the larger of the two sizes. And as you can see, what I'm doing here is creating this. I'm putting the clay on the outside. I've actually got it on the bottom. It's in its raw state yet. It hasn't been fired. I probably should have showed you, but as I go along now, I can actually, the next one I do, I'll show you the entire process of how I'm building it and how I roll it out and everything. But for now, I'm just working on the finishing touches on this thing, but it's coming out pretty cool. But my daughter's in the process of moving into a new home, and I thought she might be able to use this. I think these colors are going to be kind of cool for her bathroom, thinking she can use it maybe like for cotton balls or something, or just whatever. But I thought it was kind of unique and decorative. And I love my way of doing mixed media. Well, one of my ways of doing mixed media is with clay. I mean, it's not mixed media, but it's like abstract, I guess. Yeah, it's not mixed media. Well, actually, it is a little bit mixed media because I did use a stamp and I've got ink going on in there. And I've got glass, so technically, all right. But yeah, generally these are called like assemblages, and sometimes I do assemblages with on wood or canvas or just by themselves. I mean, a lot of different things, but this is really my forte right here, is working, the elements together and make some sort of like really unique abstract kind of design. So, like I said, I'm just coming on here to kind of play around with this for a little bit. I probably won't stay on here too long because I know people I watch a lot of lives, and I know people can get a little bit bored after watching for a long time unless you're really into what the project's about. But I, as you, like I said, replays or whatever, send me some comments. If you have any questions about polymer clay, the process, or what I'm doing, please ask me, even on the replays as you come on and you look. Um, just ask away, and I'll do my best to answer it. I've learned quite a bit about it, but I'm not the end all be all. Like I said, there are a lot of polymer clay artists out there that just blow you away with them, the amount of things that they do, and their creativity and their skill level. So, but I just want people to be encouraged that polymer clay is not a scary thing. It's actually a lot of fun, and it's just so different and fun and versatile. It's one of the most versatile mediums I've ever used. All right, so anywho, right now you can see I've got a little bit of a mess here. I've got several different clays rolled out. Some actually they got a little bit dirty because I didn't. One thing about polymer clay is it never dries until you bake it. I mean, it can get a little bit dried out, but it doesn't actually harden to its state. So even though I've got some ookies on here, you can take alcohol and kind of wipe it down a little bit. Sometimes a baby wipe will help, but I just want to leave all this intact because I might use some pieces of this. I've got it all rolled out from my pasta machine. Pasta maker, whatever you want to call it. And this, at first I had this kind of wrapped around the whole thing and I didn't care for it. That's why I tore it apart and started working on it somewhere else. So it's kind of nice when it's in its raw form, you can still play around and do things. So anyway, what I'm doing here is, I don't know, since I'm fiddling around when nobody's here, I can't post comments to send destination. I don't know why this thing is looking so big. I don't want to post a comment. I want to get that off of there. Yeah. Oh, Lordy. This is one thing I hate doing when you go live and you have some technical issues going on. It's not a huge thing. It's just on my end. Banner. On the comment section, my little comment box is actually really large, and it's making it more difficult for me to see. I think as I get more people commenting, it might get smaller maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to stress over that because I don't have anybody on here right now anyway. Okie dokie. So once again, like I said, what am I going to do with this? So at this point, like I said, I've got most of my larger pieces on here, that I've got filled in all the spaces per se, but I still have a lot of little seam lines. If you look real closely here, you can see like the little seams, and they're not bad. I mean, it's kind of a rough look. You could actually leave it like that. But I want to cover them up. I want to do, something to kind of make it look a little cleaner. So what I did in this section, as you can see here, I sort of did like a little bit of a little like bullet point dot thing going on with that one. And I might continue that on, change colors, or like I said, it's a free-form abstract, so you can do a little bit of everything with it. You can do twists and turns, and actually, what was I going to do? I was going to get my extruder out. I've got this extruder that does some pretty cool things. Let's see if I can come up with something some sort of a line or something neat with this. One thing I like about this, I'll show you. Okay, it's this little guy that you can actually put the clay inside the barrel here, and then it just comes out. It squirts out the end with whatever little, see if you can see that. These little guys here, these little plates, I guess. Put that over there. So what I figured I would do, I was thinking about this. There's a lot of different designs, but I like this. I was going to try this one here. This is kind of an octagon shape. I got a square shape too. I'm going to try the octagon. Oh, I like the flower. Not a flower, but it's like it's a little three petal. I don't know what you call it. Three curved prong thing or something. All right, but I'm going to give that a try. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a couple colors of clay together if you do this, this is kind of neat. See, I've already mixed a little bit of gray in with this white, and it's got a kind of a marble effect, which is really super cool. And you can do that with any colors, and you can use it with your metallics and everything too. But you know, there's a couple different ways that you can marble. This is just a very quick way. I'm just kind of squeezing them together, but I don't want to squeeze it together too much. Uh-oh. Oh geez, guys, I've got to hold on because I've got this call coming in. Hold on, let me mute myself. Gosh, I know if anybody's watching me, they're gonna be like, what's she doing on a phone call? I hated to do that, but I really need to take this call because I'm actually trying to set up, and I usually have the darn thing on mute, but I actually wanted to get that call. I'm setting up a date with my grandson, my 17-year-old grandson, to actually go to a different pottery studio that does ceramic pottery, and we're gonna work on the wheel. And we're going to do that in a couple weeks here in this area where we live. So I'm excited about that. I haven't had a chance to spend much time with him lately. So I need to take that call to get that squared away. But sorry about that if you heard the phone ringing in there. Anyway, so what I did here is I got a little bit of brown, a little bit of gray, a little bit of white. And I've just kind of pitched it all together. And let me see if I can see who is it. We got one person on here. Lisa. Lisa, are you still on, darling? Or if you are, just say hi in the comments for me. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece here, and you can't see this over here, but I have a pasta maker. I'll bring it closer another day. And I just ran one ram through the pasta maker with it, and this is kind of the really cool effect you get. Isn't that neat? Now, it's in a nice sheet right now. I hate to kind of ball it up, but I want to run it through my extruder. So when I do that, it's going to be totally different, but I'm just going to go ahead and fold this up because I want to put it through here. And it's probably like an effort and futility because putting it in here and squirting it out, you're not going to be able to see the design much, but at least you got to see what it's like to when it comes out like that with the marbling effect. And like I said, there's a couple different ways you can do marbling effect. That's just me squeezing it together and running it through the maker. All right, so what my idea is I'm just gonna put a little bit of this out here. Put my camera down a little bit. All right. And I'm just gonna, as I turn it and I get it out there, like I said, it's pretty much coming out white on the outside of it. But when you cut, I'm going to cut these little pieces to make like a little, almost sort of maybe like a little flower design, whatever the little design is on here, that little curved prong design. There's quite a bit here. Probably won't even use all this, but I'll go ahead and get it out of here anyway. It's easier to take it out this way than it is to try to dig it out. All right, so let's see what do I got here. I need to get my little cutter to my X-Acto knife. I'll cut that off. There. Now I've got these little funky pieces, and see how it's like three-sided. It's like a little, almost like a little curve. I actually have flower cutters too that are pretty neat, some small ones, but I just figured I'd do something like this because I don't think my other flower cutters are this small. I just wanted to have some sort of design. Now I'll tell you flat out, my room is really warm right here, my studio area. So my clay is a lot softer than it should be. So when I'm cutting my pieces, I know these are really teeny to see, and I've got that glare. Sorry about the, where's that at? It's up there with the lights, but I'm trying to cut these pieces out so I can maybe use them and attach them as part of the scenes. Like I said, I'm just kind of playing around. I had no rhyme or reason with this. It just started as an idea, and I just work it from there. And that's one of the beauties about working in any kind of like abstract design. I mean, you might generally start out with a color scheme and then kind of go from there. And same thing with clay. Once you learn about clay and all the variations that you can do with it, which are, I'm telling you, almost endless, the things that you can do with this clay. I don't know, guys, if you're, I'm turning my little fan on because I'm getting kind of warm. If the noise bothers you, please let me know and I'll turn it off, but I'm starting to get a little sweaty in here. All right, so you can see these things are really teeny, but what I'm going to do is just use them to kind of attach as far as like a seam line on here. I'm just going to cut a few more because I might not use all of it. It looks almost like a little cloud. That's what, because it's got like a flat bottom on it. Like if you're doing like a little whimsical design. Okay. So now, since the clay, polymer clay, is sticky, I mean, it sticks to itself pretty much while it's in its raw form. If you had something that, if there was, now hypothetically, I could actually bake this whole thing, and I can actually bake the glass. Glass bakes, is what you know. I could bake the whole thing as it is, and then add other pieces to it. You can do it several ways. There is polymer clay glue that you can use for small pieces like this, but there should be no reason why these little tiny pieces should not be able to stay on here, because I'm going to kind of press them on. All right, let's see. I guess I'll try using, I'm using my little stylus guy here to pick them up, and if I get it to where it's not going to cause too much. I don't know when to start, what area I want to start in. I'm going to start on this right here. I think I'm going to have to take it off my little turnstile because it's, I'm going to leave this on the bottom too. This is parchment paper because it helps protect most people don't see the bottom of a container, but I don't want it to just mess up the clay too bad. All right, so I'm just taking those. Actually, I might use my finger. It might be quicker. It depends. Let's see. And I do have some music going in the background. I don't know. I've got fans and music and air conditioners on, so if there's too much background noise, let me know and I'll take care of that. But yeah, it's actually easier for me to use my fingers. I honestly don't like doing miniature stuff too much. It's too much of a pill for me. Some people are totally into miniatures. Now, I didn't plan on putting a little dot and like my little indentation in there, but I do like that look, and since I did it on the first one, I'll just go ahead and leave it on. I could have easily removed that first one and just not put it on there, but I'm probably not going to cover up every single seam line in this thing, but some of the ones that are still like more funky, I figured I'd go ahead and do that, because plus it just gives a little extra interest. So yeah, I really miss going live and being able to share stuff. And like I said, I'm hoping and praying that soon this art therapy classes that I've been working so hard to get together are going to start up. A lot of us other artists that are a part of that group have been putting a lot of time and effort to get to that place so we can start teaching these clients art. And basically it's art therapy for like mental health. Now that's kind of neat. It almost looks like a little flower, doesn't it? That's kind of cute. Yeah, that's cute. I don't know what's up in my comments. If anybody's actually commenting, Lisa's the only one I see on here still, so probably not. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of neat, and maybe I will just carry that around because it's easy and simple, and I don't need to make it too complicated. I'm going to go ahead and continue it on right here too. I think I'll do the brown to there. Excuse me. All right, I'll do the brown to there. So where else should I put this? I think I'll go ahead and do it along this line too, because these lines, like I said, you can see they're not really clean. They're just kind of butted up and, a little rough. So I think I'll just continue on. But I want to put some brown in there somewhere too. I don't want to make it all white. It's kind of a white brown color, really. So, what else can I tell you about polymer clay? A zillion things to talk about with polymer clay. Anything else I can tell you about? Oh, let's see, my other live group. We go Wednesdays. It's called Live Painting Sisterhood, and some of the girls are in this group, and as they get a chance, they'll come on too. I'll probably stream in that group a little bit as well. But today, since it was my first day back in a while, I didn't want to throw everybody off going in that group as well. But we do Wednesdays in there. We do Wednesday night lives, and lately sometimes it's hit or miss with me. I have been going on and I haven't been going on, but I will be on this Wednesday night with them. They're doing a cactus theme, a succulent theme, and I love succulents. So I'm going to be doing a big, huge like landscape rock with a cactus design on it with the clay. I've been wanting to do that for a while anyway, and when that came up, I thought, oh, cool, man. I'll go on and put some cactus on that thing. I know a lot of people paint on rocks, but I don't think people thought about the idea of doing mosaics or clay on the rocks. And I'm just really loving that. That's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. I'm going to extend it over here too. Put a few more over here. But whoops, I got another watcher. I got a watcher, but I don't have a comment yet. Who be that? Who be there watching me and not saying nothing, trying to sneak in like that? I can actually see who it is. Oh, it's just me. Actually, it's me on my other groups. How funny. I guess it shows up like that. I'm streaming into my personal, my business art page, and also from YouTube. So I guess it says that I'm viewing from there, which makes me look like I got a lot more viewers than I actually do. Anyway, so I got that. One thing about that is you can see that it's a little wonky because it's not really straight. I don't know if my analness will bug me on that, that that's not really straight or not. And that's not really straight either. So I might put something different in there instead of carrying this around. I might put a brown, I think I will. I'll put something brown in there to kind of break that up so it looks a little different and it doesn't maybe so look so broken up. So all right, so let me give this a try. This clay is like mega soft right here. This is a brown clay. By the way, yeah, polymer clay. Play-Doh is not polymer clay, but Play-Doh comes in a lot of colors. Well, polymer clay comes in a lot of colors too. I generally enjoy painting my clay because I just like to paint and I like to be able to use that as part of my creative process. But sometimes, like in cases like this, it's good to already have your clay colored. So, it just makes it easier when you're doing your project. Um, anyway, I'm gonna roll this out. This is called coiling, by the way. I'm just rolling this out a little bit, and then I'm gonna kind of twist it. I'm twisting it, and depends on how I can get the twist on this, because I was working with this the other day and it was just falling apart on me because it's so soft and hot. Technically, if your clay is too soft and sticky to work with, there's a couple things you can do. You can add a little cornstarch to your fingers. I didn't want to do that on this one because it's not white clay, and I don't want the white on my brown or my other colors. And you can also, there we go, it's starting to take shape. I'm just twisting it around, get like a little twisted effect to it. And then I want to actually pull it a little bit. I don't want it to be like really thick. But yeah, you can create various colors on your own too with the polymer clay. Instead of buying the colors, there's several ways you can actually mix the colors in. They won't be as strong as if you were to buy the pigments, like them already colored, the pigments. But you can use alcohol ink, you can use acrylic paints, you can use pastels that you shave off and put the little, I'm going to do a lot of that. Like I said, in my clay courses that I teach all of that. I teach you how to use those mediums, and then we do projects together that are really fun and just expand your creativity so that you can do a lot of different things with the clay and make it your own. All right, so how is this? This is starting to get kind of wonky. Let's see if I can take off a little section. How much am I going to need here? About like that. All right, let me get this centerpiece here turned around a little bit more. Anybody else out there? Don't look like it. Okay. I didn't really expect anybody to come on here today. It's a Monday afternoon, and I didn't announce it. I just kind of threw it out there in the wind and figured I'd give it a try. But I did get quite a few people, extra members on here now. At least that's good. That's a start. I don't have a lot of membership yet because like I said, I had it as a private group, and just been working on other things and not been working on this particular site. But it's starting to get a little bit too thin for me. Let me go with this piece here. Try to twist this one up. It's this is so stinking and if it wasn't so sticky and soft is working word I'm looking for, then it would hold together a little bit better. But it's wanting to roll out. It looks almost like an earthworm. I know you guys can't see that. Hold on, probably can't see it anyway because of the light in the way. But I'm trying to twist this piece up a little bit to get it to turn. You get like a twisted effect on here, but I don't like that, so I'm just going to have to start over on it, I think. All right, yeah, let me start over. Maybe it's just going to have to be a little bit thicker, and then I can kind of like, what do you call it? I can flatten it out or something. So, like I said, you get to see my process here. You get to see like playing with things, working it out, what works, what doesn't work. And that's it. Now, if I'm doing a full-on workshop with somebody and I'm teaching a class, I've got all the bugs worked out already. I go through and make sure everything's good to go, and give them ideas on what they can do. But when I'm actually working a piece of my own for the first time, then there's that creative process you got to go through and trying to figure out the best way things are going to work. Now, let's see, that's still a little bit too fat for me, but it doesn't look like this clay is going to want to turn that much. Flatten it out. Maybe I'll try that. Go with that piece there. I know you guys are not going to be able to see that, but it's got a little twist on it. A little twist on it. I know you can't see it. Anywho. Trust me, it's got a twist on it. Not as much of the twist that I would really want, honestly. So I think what I'm going to do, since I can't get the twist that I want, I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Get on there. Okay. All right, and I'm going to cut it off right here. And I'm just, at this point, I'm just pressing it on. And you can see it's a little wonky. I don't really mind that because I'm a whimsical type person anyway, and I don't like things that are actually perfect. I mean, if there is something that I really, really want perfect, then I would have to make sure that I had my clay so it wasn't so sticky and all that, and be able to cut it precisely. But in this case, what I'm going to do is, let me see, what can I do? I'll just take the toothpick. All right, got a little toothpick. And I'm just going to do a little press on each one, kind of create like a little flat design on there. Number one, it flattens it down, creates an interest with the actual clay, and it sticks it better to the clay. So it's a threefold process. Hope my daughter likes this. She's got, you know, her, like is everybody in their home, you've got really your own particular taste that you like, but I think this is something that she really might do. And her house is going to be very minimalistic, kind of. So, let me see, maybe I'm going to go to, I'm just going to go ahead and add these guys on here. My surface, my glass surface I'm working on here is really sticky too, so everything's kind of sticky right now. That one got a little too distorted. I'm going to use another one here. So this is the part where it starts to get a little bit boring for people to watch. If you're doing it yourself, it's not boring, but to watch somebody put all these little stinking pieces on here, it's not the most exciting thing in the world. That's why people like to do speeded up videos and do reels and stuff, because it makes it a lot quicker. All right, now I don't really particularly like that right there, that raised area, but I'm gonna let that go too, because I don't want to mess with it too much. All right, so I got that and I got that. And I still need to connect a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm getting out of the camera. I forgot to put my camera in. A little bit of a seam. I'm going to cover up some of these seams here. But I don't know if I want to use all of those white things on everything. I'm going to do something a little different. Like I said, I don't want to do every single seam either. What else can I do? Let me see what this is. I'm still going to use these a little bit, I think, because they are kind of cool. I want to think of something else I can put in here too. By the way, this is another little idea. I'm not going to use this in this, but this is to show you. I actually have these. I wanted to see how well these worked. Dollar Tree, oh, we love the Dollar Tree. So I found these at the Dollar Tree, these little stamps. Aren't they cool? And I wanted to see how they were actually gonna, the kind of impression they were gonna give on the clay. So I did the dragonfly on there, and it looks pretty good. They're not as deep as like a regular rubber stamp might be. I mean, you can use these for stamping your ink. That's initially what they're supposed to be for. Now this one here, this writing that I have on here, which I absolutely love, I use this one. This is an actual rubber stamp, and I just put black ink, stamp the clay, and then attach the clay. Sorry about that crazy noise, if you can hear that. Sometimes I have an oak tree above on my roof, and it drops debris. Every once in a while you can hear it. When it falls, that scares the bejeebies out of me too. All right, so what am I going to do here? gonna do? I'm trying to think what kind of really cool design I can do. I mean, not design, but let me hold up. Can you guys hear that music? I can hear it now. Should I put those on top too? That one? That not too funky, too much? Maybe not. I don't think so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some more of these little guys and attach them to the top of that brown section there. Trust me, if I'm teaching a class, I'm teaching you how to do this, I don't take you through this whole process like this. I just show you the few basic ones and then you do it on your own. Like I said, I would not put anybody through that to have to watch the entire process of attaching these little guys on here. Once you do one, you can pretty much get the hang of it, what you got to do. Oops. God dang, my surface is so... I need to have this on a piece of something like paper so these start sticking to the glass. Okay, I think that's going to look good. That's just going to kind of like box that piece in there. But it'll be all right. I just heard what I think is some thunder. Does it start raining? If it starts raining, I'm off of here. My roof is a metal roof and it's not insulated, so you get to bang, bang, banging with the popcorn when it rains. Somehow I got to rectify that, because if I start with these art therapy classes, I got to be pretty professional. I can't have a bunch of crazy noise going on when we're trying to be therapeutic with art, now can we? So we're going to have to get this roof insulated up here. Plus it would help with the heat and the cold too. All right, that's kind of cool. I like that. I'm liking that. So eager to put it all on the fingers on this guy. And one more and I think I got it on this one. All right. So yeah, this is pretty much what I got so far on that side. And like I said, I'm not going to do every single one because I think it'll be a little overkill. I'm probably going to do about 3 more little areas with the seams to cover up. Maybe some areas that don't look so pretty. And then I'm just going to call it good. I thought about putting some painting and some other little like stencil-y things, but I don't, like I said, it's got a lot going on and I don't want to overdo it. Sometimes you gotta know when to stop on a piece too. Oh, there's Lisa. Hey Lisa, show. Hey Lisa, how are you, darling? I've just been on here playing around. Thanks for coming on and being part of the group. I'll get my camera out of my face here. Let me switch over for a second. So yeah, you probably didn't see the intro, but this is a group that I've had for a bit that was private, and I just went ahead and made it public and started inviting people to come on and be a part of my clay world and learn about clay and see some of the processes. And today I'm just working on a piece that I'm making for my daughter. This is the piece I was working on the other day, a couple of days ago. I guess I have to turn it around, keep flipping my cameras here. Over here. Yep, there we go. It's pretty cool. It's got some stamped script on there, some little pieces that I did some stenciling on and colored them. It's like my little abstract guy, got some textures with my other brown, and it is actually a glass. Once this is fired in the oven and it's hardened, it can be used for, pretty much anything. I mean, I would not put it in your dishwasher, but a person could lightly hand wash it. I can even glaze it if I want. But I thought she might want to see. It's a glass little bowl from the Dollar Tree. But I thought she might want to use it maybe like in her bathroom for a. She's very into modern stuff and very minimalistic, and I thought she might want to use it for whole cotton balls or just wherever. I mean, whatever you want to do with it, you can figure out do it. But I think it was a pretty cool ball. And I've got another one. I need to make one for my aunt, totally different colors, and then one for at my aunt's going to be more metallics and things like that. And then I have a good friend of mine that I need to get her a birthday present. I'm like really late on it, but I think I need to make her one too. I also do this version, but I'll show you this as well. This is a smaller of the two glass containers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. And this is a teapot. I'm going to set this one aside. And this one's been completed. This one's been fired. But you can see I've made this in. Let me switch my cameras over. All right, so yeah, this one is a finished teapot container. It's not an actual teapot. In other words, the spout, it doesn't run all the way through where you can actually fill it up. I mean, you can hold it by the handle and whatnot. That's not a problem. And it's got its own lid, whatnot. Pick it up like that. But it is a glass inside, just like the other one. It's got glass inside there. And once again, it's more for, you could put liquids in there, but you're not going to be able to pour anything out of it. I thought it more for once again, it's tea. So you could actually fill tea bags, put like a tea bag container or whatever you want to put in there. Just a little creative, fun. I call it a teapot container, but that's another idea that I do. I got that one and I have another one, but I have the other one inside my house. It's pretty cool too. So far I've just got the two teapots. I want to do a few more teapots because I really like those. And I got to get these little bowls done for now. This guy's here. And I will do a smaller one with a lid probably for my aunt, or I don't know. We'll see. I haven't figured that out yet. All right. I think for now, I'm just going to go ahead and say sayonara. I just wanted to come on for a little bit and say hi. Kind of get my feet wet again. We'll go on live and see if anybody wants to, like I said, participate with me in the future. I might start having to plan the actual days that I go on, but I didn't want to make anything set in stone because it's just kind of like whenever I get an opportunity to do that. But glad I'm getting a good start, and I hope to start seeing this group grow and become bigger. And if you got any other questions about it, just like I said, just ask away. All right. Bye-bye. I'll see you later.